This is the Maggie Morgan Show.
We are unpacking the series, The Joys and the Woes of Singlehood. And on this particular episode, we are still on the subtopic, childhood trauma. Now we are with Miss Greatness. Kindly take us back to your childhood and just tell us, briefly what your childhood was like.
My dad became someone that would come home every day. When I mean every day, like he started going to church, of course, Sunday to Sunday. And every time I go with him to church, he will always come back with, "Oh, Daddy Gio said you're hanging out with rich people," and he will flog me. Daddy Gio said your top is too tight. It will flog me. Daddy Gio said your hair looks kind of relaxed. It will flog me. And they were all these were religious reasons. And the home became extremely toxic. It stopped becoming a home. It now became an accommodation where I just have to sleep. And if you're a parent and you're listening to this, my first question to challenge you is your house, is it a house, like an accommodation where your child is just sleeping? Or is it a safe place? Is it a safe space for your child to know that when there is trouble on the outside, there is home, there is shelter for me, there is a rock that will shield me from the storm on the outside? So they have 6 associate pastors. They remove the wire from the microphone and they beat me. Then when they finished beating me downstairs, the general overseer told them to bring me upstairs. And this man ran again to say, "Please, why are you taking this lady again? Like, you've been beating her since morning. What did she do?" And the man said, "I have never seen them beating an animal like this, let alone an human being." This whole physical abuse, rejection, emotional abuse continued. So I became bitter. I got to the point where I decided that I was going to be an hired assassin. Parents are responsible for the definition the child has of God. If I tell my father that I want to leave his house, he will kill me because he has beaten me into the gutter. And reflecting back, Maggie, the man I almost married also beat me into the gutter. It's sad that I attracted my worst fear, because every child unconsciously is looking for a dad in which she wants to marry.
Come on.
My God.
Dysfunctionality is better prevented than being cured. In mental health and therapy, there is something called ECHO. The first sexual abuse, if it's a pastor, if it's a uncle or a family member, unfortunately, the continuous sexual abuse will be the same kind of person, because the wall for you to defend that kind of person is no longer there.
It was the same week I set as the deadline. I met this guy, was a medical doctor, a consultant, a pastor. The moment he saw me, he said, "As I just saw you, God said you are my wife." And so basically, the way we met, it looked spectacular. And the spectacular is not always the supernatural. We need to get that clear and get it out of the way.
Say that again.
The spectacular is not always the supernatural. The first 3 weeks, it was like everything I had prayed for in a man. This guy was doing it. He was saying it. He was love bombing me. I was like, ha! People were using me as testimony contact. What's that one? Prayer contact. The God that did it for greatness must do my own. From the 3rd week, then this guy revealed his true color. My first rule and regulation was, do not ever touch your phone when you are in my car. Then the instructions started increasing to the point that one day I said, "You know this, your rules and regulation is now 22. He said, "Keep counting because you won't stop counting." So as we got out of church, we got towards the gutter. This guy, I actually thought I was the one that slipped into the gutter. Then I fell into the gutter, I was beating me into the gutter, and I was like, "What happened?" And he said, "I've told you never to introduce me to anybody. Why did you introduce me to that pastor? Can you just listen? Can you just obey me? Will you be a submissive wife?" I said, I thought I actually fell into the gutter. So you're the one that pushed me and beat me into the gutter. He said yes, and he will beat me again.
Yes.
Narcissists, they are better read about than experienced. Don't even pray to experience them. Marriage is primarily for the establishment of God's will here on earth. His agenda starts from the home. So if you don't understand that, you don't see the role that this guy or this man is going to play in the fulfillment of God's plan for my life, and you feel, oh, because I find him attractive, I like him, love at first sight, when I see him, butterflies, my sister, that butterfly would disappear. When they beat you black and red, 6 months is too much. My own, 3 months. 3 months was like 13 years. In fact, when anybody asks me, are you sure this relationship is just 3 months? I'll be like, 3 months, really? No, I'm not. It was like 13 years of misery. I'm not joking. There is nothing like this is who I am. This is who you have become. Right. And you can reprogram yourself to become a role model parent, that your children will see God first in you. Your children will love to serve God by the way you treat them. Yeah. Prevention of a bad marriage is cheaper, healthier, and life-saving than the cure of divorce and dysfunctional home.
Come on.